a multi-millionaire who made his fortune by being a relatable everyman has become one of the most reviled men in America.
Number 1. Jared Fogle. You've probably seen the Subway sandwich commercials featuring a man named Jared Fogle. He weighed more than 400 pounds at the age of the sandwich business in 2000. He had turned his weight loss into a source of revenue. Things took a pretty wrong turn a few years later. According to NPR, he admitted to acquiring child pornography and having sex with kids during a plea deal with prosecutors in 2015. He was involved in interstate travel in order to pay for sex and owned 400 illegal pornographic movies. Worse, according to prosecutors in the case against him, several of the tapes were supplied to him by the head of his organization. Fogle was sentenced to more than 15 years in jail and will not be eligible for parole for at least 13 years. Fogle was reportedly ordered to pay $1.4 million compensation to 14 youngsters he harmed. Number 2. Robert Downey Jr. Hollywood is no stranger to redemption stories, but few are as gripping as Robert Downey Jr.'s. Downey, born on April 4, 1960, when he was exposed to marijuana by his father, filmmaker Robert Downey Senior. The actor's drug experimentation progressed, resulting in many legal difficulties. Downey was arrested for the first time in 1996 when he was pulled over for speeding, and officials discovered heroin, cocaine, and a handgun in his vehicle. Later that year, he was arrested again. His continuous substance misuse and arrests eventually led to his incarceration. From 1999 to 2000, Downey spent nearly a year in a California substance abuse treatment facility and state jail in Corcoran, California. His stay in prison was interspersed with periods of self-reflection, which he later characterized as a watershed moment in his life. Downey faced considerable obstacles in restoring his career after his release. He was deemed a risk because of his history of substance misuse and legal issues. However, with the assistance of friends and industry supporters, he re-entered the workforce for his incredible recovery. His narrative is a monument to personal tenacity and the idea of second chances, illustrating that there is a route back to the spotlight, even in the darkest of circumstances. Number 3. R. Kelly. On July 11, 2019, R. Kelly was arrested by federal agents in Chicago. According to the Chicago Tribune, he and a few colleagues allegedly recruited young girls for sexual relations, isolated them from their families, and controlled them so they wouldn't seek help. An indictment was filed in a U.S. District Court in New York City. At the same time, prosecutors in Chicago brought an indictment alleging Kelly bribed witnesses and victims in a child pornography prosecution in 2008. Due to the COVID-19 epidemic, trial dates in New York have been rescheduled. Kelly was in a federal prison in Chicago awaiting trial when Latin King gang member Jeremiah Shane Farmer had the sentence be reduced to 11 years. Number 4. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, born July 2, 1986, rose to fame early as an actress and singer. She rose to prominence in the late 1990s when she starred in the Disney film The Parent Trap, which launched her successful acting career. Lohan became a household celebrity after her breakthrough performance in Mean Girls in 2004. However, with her rising star came more public scrutiny, and her personal life became a regular focus of media attention, and by 2007, she had begun to face legal problems. Her first arrest was in May of that year for DUI and cocaine possession. She was arrested again 2 months later on similar accusations. These arrests culminated in brief jail sentences and mandated recovery programs over the next few years. Lohan's legal difficulties persisted, owing primarily to probation violations and other excellent behavior after her release. She served less than 2 weeks of that sentence. Despite her difficulties, she continued to battle addiction and legal concerns. Lohan has attempted several comebacks and remains in the public glare. Her narrative serves as a sharp reminder of the tremendous pressure that young Hollywood actresses frequently feel and the negative consequences it may have on their life. Number 5. C. Murder. C. Murder, born Corey Miller in New Orleans, was convicted of second-degree murder for the 2002 murder of a teen named Steve Thomas in a nightclub. According to NBC News, the rapper began serving a life term in Louisiana State Penitentiary in 2009. However, his case has a twist. Two significant eyewitnesses have come forward to contradict their testimony since his detention. In addition, an unexpected ally has risen to his defense, reality star Kim Kardashian. In April, meanwhile, the convicted artist has maintained his innocence on all counts. Number 6. Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder, born Winona Laura Horowitz on October 29, 1971, is a well-known actress who has appeared in films such as Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, and Little Women. However, Ryder was embroiled in a high-profile court dispute in 2001, which interrupted her career in December 2001. Ryder was arrested for shoplifting over $5,000 at Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills. The affair was a significant controversy that garnered widespread media attention, palliating her career. The following year, the matter proceeded to trial. Ryder was convicted of felony grand theft and damage in November 2002, but acquitted of criminal burglary. Ryder was sentenced to 3 years probation and 480 hours of community service in December 2002. Stranger Things. Ryder's case is a striking reminder of how even prominent Hollywood stars may find themselves on the wrong side of the law, with severe legal and professional ramifications. Number 7. Michael Jace Smiling. Michael Jace, well known for his role in the television police thriller The Shield, shot his wife in their Los Angeles home in 2014 in front of their 2 children. According to report, he was sentenced to 40 years in prison for the murder. The homicide looked to be motivated by envy. His wife, April Jace, wanted a divorce from him, and the 53-year-old actress suspected she was seeing someone else. On May 19, 2014, when April returned home, Michael shot her numerous times in front of their 2 sons, ages 8 and 5. He acknowledged the crime after calling 911 and his father-in-law. Michael has a history of aggressive behavior. A friend of his first. Number 8. Tim Allen. Tim Allen, born Timothy Allen Dick on June 13, 1953, is an actor and comedian best known for his appearances in Home Improvement and as the voice of Buzz Lightyear in the Toy Story films. However, before his Hollywood career, Allen ran into the law. Allen was arrested at the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport in October 1978 for possessing more than 650 grams of cocaine. He later pleaded guilty to narcotics trafficking charges, potentially facing life in jail. In exchange for a reduced sentence, Allen supplied the identities of additional narcotics distributors in 1981. He was sentenced to 3 to 7 years in federal prison, which he served for 2 years and 4 months in the Sandstone Federal Correctional Institution in Minnesota. His experiences in prison prompted him to change the course of his life. Allen resorted to comedy after his release. Number 9. Shannon Richardson. According to the Texarkana Gazette, actress Shannon Guess Richardson, best known for her appearance on The Walking Dead, pled guilty in 2013 to creating, producing, having, and distributing a poison to use as a weapon. She sent threatening, poisonous letters to then-President Barack Obama and 2 others. Richardson purchased ingredients for the scheme on her husband's credit card and account, and she produced the poison ricin in the home she shared with her husband and 4 children. She was also pregnant at the time she made the combination. She sent the letters to Obama, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and Michael Glaze, who worked with mayors against illegal guns. The FBI gathered and studied all correspondence. Richardson discussed gun control in the letters and attempted to frame her husband by planting evidence in his car and lunchbox. Also, despite her attempt to frame him, she was apprehended in 2013 and sentenced. In the 1990s, he rose to prominence with high-profile appearances in action films such as Demolition Man Blade and Passenger 57. Snipes was involved in a different kind of battle in 2006. He was charged with tax evasion and attempted to defraud the government of millions of dollars by failing to file tax returns for several years. Snipes was cleared of felony tax fraud and conspiracy charges in 2008, but convicted of 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to file a federal income tax return. Snipes was sentenced to 3 years in jail in 2010 for his convictions, the maximum penalty. His appeals were denied, and he began serving his term in December of that year. Snipes was released in April 2013 after spending nearly 2 years in the McKean Federal Correctional Institution in Pennsylvania. Snipes stayed in the news during his sentence. Since his release, he has been involved in legal disputes over his convictions and has used his time in prison to highlight the broader consequences of these activities, which harm not just the individual, but also their professional status and public reputation. Number 11. Todd and Julie Chrisley. Todd and Julie Chrisley are well known for their reality show Chrisley Knows Best, which premiered in 2014. The show follows a married couple and their children in the South as they go about their daily lives as a typical family that happens to be extremely wealthy. So, how did the Chrisleys become so wealthy? On the other hand, Todd is a tremendously successful entrepreneur and real estate developer who applies his unwavering corporate ideals to family governance, resulting in plenty of conflicts. Despite Todd's constant surveillance of his family's activities, someone is always getting into mischief or wreaking havoc. Unfortunately, things became even more natural for the reality TV family when Todd and Julie engaged in a complicated legal situation. PC Pensacola, while Julie's 7-year sentence is at FMC Lexington, Kentucky. Number 12. Felicity Huffman. On December 9, 1962, Felicity Huffman was an award-winning actress best known for appearing in Desperate Housewives and Transamerica. Huffman's reputation suffered a setback in 2019 due to her role in a high-profile college admissions controversy. Huffman was one of several wealthy parents accused of perpetrating deception to ensure their children's admission to top universities. The actress confesses to paying $15,000 to have a proctor revise her daughter's SAT exam answers. Huffman pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit honest services mail fraud in May 2019. She was sentenced to 14 days in federal prison, a $30,000 fine, 250 hours of community service, and a year of supervised release in September of the same year. The scandal Olympic and Paralympic athlete shot and killed his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp at his house in Pretoria, South Africa on Valentine's Day in 2013. Pistorius was arrested and charged with murder despite his claims that he killed Steenkamp by mistake, believing she was a trespasser seeking refuge in his restroom. He was convicted of culpable homicide by a jury and sentenced to 5 years in jail. He was also sentenced to 3 years in prison with a 3-year suspension for reckless endangerment. Pistorius was released from prison after only a year. Authorities eventually overturned the verdict and sentenced him to an extra 13 years and 5 months in jail for murder. The athlete might be imprisoned until 2030, but is eligible for parole in 2023. Number 14. Mike Tyson. Michael Gerard Tyson, born June 30, 1966, is a former professional boxer who, at the age of 20, won the title of the youngest heavyweight champion in history to 6 years in jail, 3 of which he served at Indiana's Plainfield Correctional Facility. After his release from prison, Tyson's career and public image suffered due to his sentence. Tyson tried resurrecting his career but faced countless obstacles inside and beyond the ring. He was disqualified from a battle in 1997 after biting off a part of Evander Holyfield's ear, resulting in a brief suspension from boxing. Despite his complicated past, Tyson has worked hard in recent years to reinvent himself. He has been in several films and television shows, started a cannabis company, and returned to the ring for exhibition contests. His tale exemplifies the delicate interplay between celebrity and personal behavior and the possibility of rehabilitation and redemption. Number 15. Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein is in prison because of the charges of just 2 people, Miriam Haley and Jessica Mann, even though dozens of women have spoken up about the monitor before trial. He was later charged with first- and third-degree rape, a first-degree criminal sexual act, and additional felony sex offenses. Weinstein denied the allegations, claiming that the women were willing participants in his sexual exploits. In 2020, the producer was found guilty of a criminal sexual act against Haley and third-degree rape. He was acquitted of predatory sexual assault and first-degree rape against Mann. Weinstein received a 23-year prison sentence and is a registered sex offender. Thanks for watching another episode of Undercover. Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to the channel as we uncover more interesting stories like this one. And while you are still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more quality content.